and welcome.
Welcome
to the Safing live stream. I recently did some changes on my machine, so let me quickly check if everything is okay. If you are with us, please let us know if all works. I see the live stream should be live here. I'm sorry for the starting situation. Excellent connection. Oh, TCH, hi, we can hear you. Very cool. That's great.
I think it was before the glitch.
I think it works. I'm sorry. Yeah. For those on the Discord who saw, I switched away from Fedora. I had many issues. Love it still. And
Raphael had a bit of a change of mind here.
I got converted to Pop! OS for the meantime. I love the tiling. I love it so much.
Yeah,
I hate everything else. I don't know.
No.
Like
I
how
think it's an overall great experience.
where apt is putting stuff is so confusing, and I love how I can see differences in DNF, like the Fedora software center where it's coming from, and it's so not intuitive in Pop! OS. I hate it. I hate it. So for new users, I actually recommend Fedora. I would so recommend Fedora. Okay, but I got less scared about theming, so I made the switch to Pop! OS, and I copied the whole home folder and thought everything will work, and it almost did. But yeah, so I see that everything is here. Tank and Mate, yeah, you guys are live. Thank you for the info. Thank you for bearing with us. And Innovator Dev, it has 42 degrees Celsius here. Do you offer home?
I guess home office,
to pro users?
but that does make sense for pro users.
That, yeah, I don't get what you're saying. Maybe it's the temperature, mate. I don't get what you're saying. We have in Austria 31 degrees outside, but we have AC in the office, so it's very cozy. 23 degrees Celsius right here, I guess.
Yeah,
so
it's really nice.
yeah, it is nice. So our brains are well. Thank you. And Innovative Dev, if you want to come to Austria, I heard that Vienna is the most livable city in the world for many years in a row. So Vienna.
Except that we're not actually in Vienna. And I, for myself, hate Vienna. But other than that, it's probably a good city. Yeah.
I lived there only for a year. Great. Okay. We have a couple of topics we wanted to get into. We have a question from Gavin on the Discord, and it's a couple questions which came in via email, which I wanted to sort of like get into as well, which go about like browsers and browser stuff in general. And yeah, let's tackle that later. I have a couple of things. You have feelings about DNS, and you have deep feelings about us getting providing a DNS service.
Yeah, that's different. Two pairs of things.
Okay.
Yeah. DNS is great, but it's always the issue. And I'm not sure, like, when we started out, like, this whole adventure with Safing and, like, ProMaster and bringing privacy to people, we, of course, thought about what's the most thing needed right now. And of course, when we started, all the secure DNS stuff wasn't as popular, or not even really on the horizon back then.
Do you want to?
So secure DNS is one of the things that we said that's absolutely necessary. But we had so many issues with DNS, and still are having quite some issues here and there, because DNS is just super weird. It breaks so easily, and yeah, so ProMaster is handling DNS for you securely, and everything seems to be working now, but I'm sure we'll be fixing things again soon, because that's just how things are. with DNS.
Just some context. You said back in the day, safing started 7 years ago because TCH actually wanted to talk a little bit about safing in general. We might do this later, but thank you for being here. And if you stick around after going at least through the DNS topic, we will probably pick that up. But it was 7 years ago when we started safing in general, and 6 years ago when we committed full time. More than 6.5 years
Really?
ago.
I
It
think
was
it's
January of 2018.
18.
January of 2018, so
Yeah.
5.5 years ago.
5.5 years, yeah.
Oh, that's
That's a long time.
a long time. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5.5 years ago. So in internet years, ages, in the before days. This is when we started, and you're right. Like secure DNS was still fairly new, and back in that day, it was so new that Quad 9 actually had deep issues, if you can recall. Like we were actually in contact with what's his name again?
They were
their
super
CEO.
weird. Yeah,
And
director. Yeah.
Director. And as far as I can recall, their server-side implementation had actual issues.
There was some weirdness with how they handled DNS requests.
And so it was super slow.
Yeah, so was some difficulty between our implementation and theirs. So yeah.
But ours worked perfectly with
other providers.
With a lot of other providers.
Yeah.
And we found that
I think
Cloudflare still to this day is the fastest. We don't love Cloudflare. You like to call it a man in the middle as a service.
Yeah.
They are. But they're fast and it works. And that's why it's the default. But if you can locally and we have on the wiki, just so you know, a long list of other DNS providers where we have the configuration on the wiki. It's not in the quick settings, but you can find it. And
there are a couple in the quick settings, or where the setting is. But also there's more on the wiki.
Yeah, exactly. And if you have one that's fast for you locally, that is great as well. But Cloudflare is globally very fast, and this is the reason why it's the default.
Yeah.
Quad 9 can be fast in some locations, but in others it's so slow. And that's the reason why it's not the default. So what are your thoughts about, Gavin was asking us to provide DNS as a service, like as an upstream DNS resolver?
Yeah. So the idea was of Gavin that as we're a company that people are already trusting, it would be great. Yeah, thanks for that, definitely. It would be great if we could host a DNS server, so that our users can use that.
Instead of Cloudflare or Quad 9.
Exactly. The issue with that is that it's technically we somewhere have the skill set to do that in some extent. So we could just whack something together. But the thing is, I don't feel like that's what we want as a privacy community. To have companies just whack things together and sell them. And there are a couple examples in the privacy kind of realm where companies did that to varying success, and I didn't like any of them. The most blatant one is probably what they call Librem.
Yeah. Where they started with?
No, is that the phone or
that's the phone?
What's the company called? Purism, right?
Yeah.
Purism. They just started with their kind of Librem 1 offering where they just
lob everything.
Yeah, they just lob everything together with open source software, which can be great, but it felt just like a kind of money grab. And we'll do that too. Probably they were under pressure from what they were seeing at our dear friends from Switzerland, the Neutron guys or something like that.
Love Proton. I'm a Proton customer. I give them money every month, you know.
Well, Proton kind of did the same thing, but
Yeah, I know.
they kind of
And
they-
people
they
call them out for
actually-
that.
they
Like
actually
Proton
did-
Drive or Proton Pass. It's not bad, but it's not the best options out there.
yeah. So
I don't use Proton Drive. I like their mail offering. As I said, I pay for it.
yeah, so I think Proton did it a lot better than Purism did.
Purism, yeah.
But it's
That's a
still
tendency.
if you have a company and you kind of start 10 services, then you have their one service that they started with that's really great, and that's for Purism that's their laptops, and then for Proton that's their email service,
Which
and
is great.
everything else is just mediocre quality.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's where we want to go. Of course, it's convenient for a user to kind of get everything from one shop, but I don't think that's beneficial for us. And what I would
Especially
like
not
to
at the
see,
moment.
I would like to see actually kind of a cooperation where and there could be multiple. You know, kind of have one corporation or where a couple of privacy companies come together and they sell their services as one bucket. And then you could have multiple pools like that. So Proton could be in 3 of these pools. And then you could have kind of this meta company that does the payment, payment handling, account handling. And then what's also really cool about that is that you have one company that holds your private info, your payment info, and then you have the other company that holds your data. So you're actually increasing privacy even more because you have 2 different entities having your data, especially of course if it's end-to-end encrypted.
Yeah. We don't have just to say we don't have any data.
Yeah, well, we people pay with like PayPal stuff. So of course through PayPal there you have your PayPal email address and stuff like that. So there is some connection somewhere.
Which in our case, just to if you're already opening so many cans.
Okay.
Just quick clarification.
Can I like finish and then
sure.
you can
Go
do
ahead.
all the clarifications you want?
Sure. I just want to, if you remind me, I want to quickly explain how the payment works.
Okay, that's
because
a good
we have made a
yeah,
lot
we
of strides to
we
decouple things wherever we can.
Yeah, we invest a lot of effort into making payment and accounts private for
yes, even with PayPal or with Stripe. Yes.
So
why is it like so? Your dream is
my
some
idea
meta
is
company.
I want multiple companies doing their one really high quality product.
Yes.
And then them gathering together and create kind of one bundle together and sell that. I think that would be amazing. Also because of course trust is difficult.
Yes.
And if you have these companies who trust each other, then it's easier for a user to trust them combined and have kind of this meta entity in the middle that kind of takes care of that for them.
Yeah.
So I think that would be really great if we could go down that route. And it also would make it a lot more easier for users, because that's why users now go to Proton, because they just get everything for one thing. They don't have to pay 5 bills every month and kind of take care of 5 accounts. Everything's in one spot, works well. So that's something that I think would be a lot better suitable for that. And if you need recommendations what to use right now, until we maybe someday have these bundles, there are a couple privacy sites that give really good recommendations. So
that's true.
So there's privacy guides, definitely. That's one I would name here. Is there another one?
I like Techlore as well.
Techlore, yeah.
Sure.
So there are a couple good sites out there, and of course every one of them is a bit different. Be careful of any affiliate links. Don't ever buy anything that's super weirdly affiliate links heavy.
But
they,
I think
they don't have to be bad, but they're definitely something to look out for. And then investigate if it's just kind of a money grab or if there's
And we have almost 1,000 people on our Discord, and the people help each other. So if you need recommendations, you can ask on the Discord. We have so helpful people. Innovator Dev, of course, is one of them. TCH, I saw you around on the Discord a lot as well. Mike is currently on the Discord writing us as well. I have not read his comment yet, but like there are very helpful people out there. So quickly, a couple things. You were saying bundles. What is good about them? Resilience, of course, is a major thing. Like if one of them gets a bad apple, the other can push the bad apple out, or if one of them dies, it does not hurt everything, and stuff like that. And as you said, focus is the thing. So for us, we would like to focus on getting Portmaster more places before adding new services like DNS, because as you said, it's not as easy. Of course, like for other companies, just lobbing a VPN in there, that is easy. But building something new is hard, like what we're doing with the SPN. But so porting it to Android, of course, is the obvious next operating system. But then macOS, iOS, people have been asking for ages to put it on routers and stuff like that. I see us going the router direction sooner than going the DNS direction. I agree. But also, of course, if you see that we have so many servers already, why not have a DNS service running on all those servers? I understand people. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay. And then to the...
It's an interesting question. If we
understand
if we could use the SPN better, if we could improve DNS with the SPN. But that's a very different question than just let's host DNS, let's do the DNS service. But can we take DNS and make it better? That's the same thing why we build SPN, because we look at VPN and be like, well, that's not really good. Let's take the main idea, like having private traffic, and make it a lot better. And if there's something we can do with DNS to make it a lot better, that's definitely something that is where it makes a lot more sense, because then we're out competing not on speed or something, but on privacy and quality. I just don't know what that would be today. Maybe in the future we'll know, but as of now, I don't see where there could be something in DNS that would make such a big difference.
Yeah. And in regards to decoupling, so as you know, if you create an SPN account, we don't ask for any PII and we don't save any. You can add an email address, which could be personal identifiable information, but of course you can just create a free Proton email address just for that or whatever. And you don't have to add an email address, and you don't have to add anything other than that. And if you delete an account, all the association from the transactions are decoupled from that account as well.
Yeah, removed as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So there are still the invoices for tax reasons, but they're not linked to anything, and we don't have to link them to anything.
Yeah, in Austria we don't have to link the name or any information of the customer to the payment, as long as it's under 400 euros.
Exactly, which is the reason why 4 years is the maximum of Portmaster Limited you can buy, because then you're below 400 euros and we don't have to ask for any other information. And so some background info there as well, just so you know. And for the registration, we talked about this in other live streams as well, but when you use SPN, for instance, you're not sending out your credentials. We have an token system where you get a token, and so you authenticate against the account system. You get those tokens, and then those authorize you to use the SPN. And so there is not even the first server in the SPNs knows who you are. Yeah. And of course, for the first time when you need to get those tokens, this connection would be outside of the SPN, but every other connection afterwards, and those tokens change, are made through the SPN. So after the first login, and of course you needed to buy it anyway on the open web, and so on. So it's basically, as soon as you got it, there's this disconnect between who you are and what your browser behavior is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Deep rabbit hole. So to recap, DNS, we are not gonna do it anytime soon. You were saying, well, if there would be a cool company, Quad9 potentially, who knows, who'd like to work with us. As I said, we have been in contact, but I think this has been 4 years ago or something. Maybe we will do something with them. I mean, they have associations to IBM and stuff, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, we're started by a group of entities. I think one is interestingly the New York Police Department, because they started off because they
maybe
with IBM security, because they want to do something along the lines of kind of securing people, and so
that's not bad.
It was always about kind of bringing like basic security everywhere. That's their thing.
Yeah.
And they were like, DNS is the easiest.
And I liked what he was recommending on NBTV. So Naomi Brockwell, sorry if I butcher that name, but Naomi's channel, I like, he was on there, and for the whole pfSense router setup stuff series, what she did. So as I said, like I like Quad9. They have been slow in the past. We don't know how they hold up in the future. So
also interesting to look at how they're reacting to things. They've been sued by a German copyright something, and they were really putting up and pushing against that.
Yeah, which is good.
Which is really good. So they're actually investing loads of their resources into like fighting this lawsuit. So I think that they're actually in there for really good stuff.
Yeah. But as I said, so your approach would be to collaborate maybe with Quad9 better, improving, helping them, getting it together. Yeah.
I want companies that focus on one or two products and make really high quality. And not kind of a pool of mediocre quality things.
Yeah, no, I agree. I understand. And if we as a project mature and can move on, maybe we will do a DNS in the future. I just don't want anybody sending me that email. Like
if we do anything, we'll do it kind of with a passion forward, with a striving for really high quality. Yeah. And only if we know we can do it better than others.
That is good. I like that. Yeah, no, absolutely. Great. And I think for TCH, we are already explaining a little bit about what we do and how we do it and why we do it. A little bit more to answer that question before we go into the browser thing. He was asking about how big we are. We're at the moment 2.5 people is what you like to say. So it's the two of us plus Patrick. Patrick is not very people-facing, I'd say. He's on the Discord. He sometimes writes stuff, but he is a very good programmer, and he is doing a lot of heavy lifting. What you saw us releasing over the last couple of months, he has been involved in everything from that was in there.
He's doing a lot of UI.
Yes, this is that as well.
Yeah,
Angular stuff.
So yeah, I have because he's part-time.
Yeah, exactly. That's the reason why he's half. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
By his own choice. So who does what? Yeah. So Patrick and Danielle are doing the programming things, and I'm doing everything else basically, mostly. Basically, yeah. That's
a lot of support currently.
I think the last updates have
communication.
Communication. But I think the last updates have been very good. Like a lot.
Like we have a really good speed here.
Good speed and
but also
improving stuff, making like reducing support requests, reducing people asking the same things. Also the help. Shout out to Esco, who wrote a couple of pages in the community wiki. This helps a lot, of course, as well. Like having the documentation there, and the wiki. I think the move away from the docs page to the wiki was big as well, because the wiki is searchable. The wiki is easier to edit, so information can be updated more frequently. You updated the DOH stuff in the wiki yesterday.
Yeah.
Because we supported DOH
For
DNS
some time
over
now.
HTTPS, for some time now, but it was like
Yeah, I
no
think
documentation.
half a year.
Yeah,
So
but
not years, but half a year.
yeah, but there was no documentation for it. So people did like it was a thing on the Discord. People knew on the Discord, but nobody else knew. Not even the support bot knows. But the support bot, I don't know. Like if you have feelings about it, I'm still every time when somebody asks something about SPN that it writes secure private network in brackets, I'm like,
It still doesn't learn that? Okay,
no.
Really?
And I told them. I told the Kappa guys. I don't know what they can do. Like they train a model, and the model.
We're just gonna create a wiki page that's just SPN means Safe Privacy Network 100 times.
And so we train it on that.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
And we're trained on that page.
What I asked even Daniel was, shall we just retroactively like change it to secure private network? But it's just too generic, I think, and we're not we're not married to having safing in the name there. It's just we already went through some iteration of the name, and that one stuck, so we keep it.
Yeah. We're not keen on changing that again.
Yeah, it used to be port 17, which got people so confused with port master. So, but
I like that one too.
people,
It was confusing. I get that.
people who know some stuff, like from the technical perspective, see that SPN actually uses port 17.
Yeah, that was a joke. On that
It is.
But
And we're compatible with port 17 protocol, which is
and 17 is still a
day.
number that's everywhere in Portmaster. So
Yeah.
we use the number 17 extensively, kind of as also kind of a hint to, this was touched by Portmaster or Portmaster. This is Portmaster. Portmaster has its fingers in there, so you can easily recognize when things are going on. So whenever you see 17 somewhere, like wait a second, that could mean that this is Portmaster. Yeah. So.
And probably SPN.
And SPN probably.
Yeah.
So, but we weren't always 2.5 people. Do you
No.
want to go into that quickly, or maybe just scratch it? So we received quite some research grants over the last couple of years, and with these grants, the team was quite some bit bigger.
Yeah.
So we were up to 8-9 people.
Yeah.
For some time.
Yeah.
But because of like bureaucracy and reasons and things, we did not receive the next grant that we wanted to get. So that's a bit of a bummer, of course. But yeah, we're
And everybody is taken care of. So nobody was like just thrown out, but it was some people were like approached by another company, and we just told them in advance, it's good. Just like
take it.
Take the offer from them, and But so we're on very good. I think we're with everybody on good terms, and we like how things are going, and maybe some of them will come back in the future.
I think so.
Yeah, me too. We'll see. We see. But yes, so we're at the moment 2.5, and that's basically also what current subscriber stuff and our customers make possible. So when we say we can do what we do because of the support we're getting from you, has been true for 100% for a couple months now. So thank you for all the Portmaster subscribers, and without you, safing would stop at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
This was not always the case, and you're correct, but at this point it would be. And I feel like, but we're going in a different direction. So if you're curious, signups are going up. I feel like we're communicating better now. I feel like I want to feel like those live chats that we're having are a good thing as well. interacting with the community
Yeah,
a little bit
yeah, I like
closer.
that.
Yeah, Mike is also saying like everything has been running better for the last weeks. So yeah, no, we're excited, and yeah, I think it was like everything aligned well.
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's of course it's different kind of working with 3 people than with
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
But also kind of
It makes some stuff
in
easier.
a lot of and it makes some stuff easier definitely. Also kind of also makes some things impossible. So we can't focus on multiple things at once.
No.
It's now single focus.
Yeah.
It means okay, we're focused on this, then we focus on this. But yeah, we're a bit still living off of the progress we had in spring. So not everything we've pushed out through the last couple weeks was just us 3. So there's still a lot of stuff in there from the bigger team, especially Vladimir.
Yeah.
And
who is still on the Discord and writes to people. If you're watching, Vladimir, thank you a lot.
Yeah. Thanks.
And we're still in contact, and everything as I said.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, but I like the speed we're still having with just 3 people, and I love pushing forward.
Yeah.
And getting things out, fixing bugs. It's a lot of fun.
Fixing bugs is not the fun
It
stuff.
is fun for me. Fixing bugs, it's kind of it's finding something that's not correct and putting it in the correct shape. And it's,
okay.
great. It's like the satisfaction you get from like closing a perfect box. No?
Nope. Don't get
No?
it. No.
You should.
No.
You should.
I love the dashboard. I can tell you that.
You should join the subreddit r/oddly satisfying. I think it's called.
No.
Yeah. So good.
Innovative Dev was writing something. You guys rock, even if I'm not a huge SPN user yet. That's fine. If you're a subscriber. No. But thank you, Innovative Dev. And you have been like very helpful in the community as well, which is so important because as we shrank having people, and this is what we saw, you and Esco and others, picking up, helping people on the Discord, on the GitHub and stuff. So cool. Portmaster Free saved me from a lot of trouble and headache. So I'm still quoting from Innovative Dev's comment over the last months. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, no, thank you. If you have any feature requests, we have been asking for feature requests. Sort of like as you said, like we have sort of been releasing the roadmap we had, and we know what we want to do next, but how we prioritize stuff like that, we will be asking we already asked or are asking the people who are very involved, the contributors, which Innovative Dev of course is one of them, and then we're asking our Plus and Pro customers sort of like what their thoughts are, and then of course we will ask the free users as well. But as we said, sort of like our customers are our bosses, and the free users are cool and we love them, but
we only exist because we have customers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So thank you, TCH, of course, as well. If I recall correctly, you are a Plus member. Not that we differentiate in that regard. For us, it's just we're thankful and we want to sort of like hear the voices of the people who are not just saying what they want. And of course, everything for free is great. But who are actually supporting us as well and helping us keeping the lights on and actually doing what they're saying.
And also the kind of, just not to kind of shed a wrong light on this here, the free tier is really important to us.
Yeah.
We as Safing, our vision is to bring privacy to the masses.
Yes.
And the free tier does that. And we love the free tier, want to keep it. And it will stay because we think that everyone should be able to have privacy, and that privacy is taken from you. That is something that wasn't your choice, and you should be able to defend yourself against that. And for all the extra stuff, kind of investigate and all the cool stuff, that's not kind of the kind of basic privacy protection that protects you, but all the bells and whistles, that's the stuff where we're like, okay, that's okay where we charge for it, because that's kind of your quality of life improvements. Yeah. Also, of course, we have to charge for the SPN because that really costs a lot of money to run. So that's nothing we can give away for free.
Mike just wrote defining privacy daily with Safing.io. Next marketing campaign, who knows? Like, marketing campaign is a strong word here as well. Not sure if we ever had one. Like, we're working together with Nick from the Linux Experiment. Great guy. Love his thoughts. Also, I mean, it helps that he shares our thoughts about FOSS being free and open source software, and free as in liberal. Libre, not as in free beer. Free in freedom, not free as in free beer. Which of course is important, because as we see, like, with more and more FOSS stuff closing off and stuff, we are not doing that. But we understand. We see that we were very, very optimistic in regards to how much people understand what they get for free. Mm-hmm. Somebody had to work for that, and no. And I guess the people who are watching are people who are supporting us, and TCH is saying, like, he's making up for it with commits and pull requests and SPN repo. That is great. No, and this is actual help. Like, this is what is great about FOSS, if people come together doing something. Mm-hmm. But we are sort of like, the internet moved into a direction where everybody expects everything for free and then is demanding more on top. Mm-hmm. And pausing and sort of like helping actually is the minority. And so thank you to you all who are helping. We see all the contributors, and if you're contributing and like stuff like code and so on, and you're not a subscriber, talk to us, get in touch. If you like, nobody has to do stuff and then not sort of like get access to the S Pen or something. So please reach out. Also, same for community node hosters, and I think we're fairly open to that as well. We said everything is manual, so you need to reach out to us first. You cannot have a node running for 3 months and then say, well, now I'd like some money for that. But talk to us. Stay in touch.
Also, in kind of regards to community and contributions, Portmaster uses API to communicate with the UI. And that API is something that, if you're a developer, you can actually also make use of. There is some documentation on that, and we can also help you get started. So if you, like, just for yourself, would find it really cool if there were kind of some widget or gadget, something for Portmaster, then just ping us, let's have a chat, and we'll help you get started. And you can build an extension, maybe kind of some other interface for Portmaster.
Portmaster light mode.
To make it easier to use. Well, that's not going to be that easy. But
we already had accessibility requests, like quite a lot, and people.
Definitely. You can definitely either like contribute to our code, but you can also build your own thing that interacts with Portmaster if you want to.
Yes, but that's spreading all the resources thin.
Well, it depends. If it like solves a problem that users are having that we can't solve within the walls we're currently in, then that'd be amazing. And
yeah. So I think I got multiple requests from blind people already. At least more, like one in the last month, but I think I got some in the past as well. This is like, and I told that person as well, like, we would love to do more in that regard. But as you're saying, like, in regards to focus and in regards to resource management, it's one after the other. And but privacy is for everybody. So investing the time and the consideration, you from the get-go, I think when you design like the different colors and shapes, you were like, well, if people are colorblind or if people are like don't see as well. And I know it's sort of ironic that everything is dark themed, and I think at least I can say I was not aware that dark theme is bad for people with bad eyesight. Mm-hmm. Because for me, it's the opposite. Like, I mean, I'm wearing glasses, but everything is dark theme. Like, I hate it if things are too bright. Also, light mode attracts bugs, you know?
Well, it depends which bugs.
No, but
I always thought that bugs also like crawl away and hide in dark places.
Okay.
I think spiders, for example.
I don't have anything against spiders. They eat other bugs, you know?
Well, also bugs eat other bugs.
Okay, whatever. Just so you know, like a light mode, stuff for accessibility, and of course sometimes people ask in regards to other languages, like we are both native in German. Like we can do a German version tomorrow if you would want, but focus.
No, we can't because it takes a lot of like infrastructure for that.
I know, yeah, exactly. So we could start doing a German version tomorrow.
Yeah, we have the skill set.
We have the skill set.
But
exactly.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, and so that's the reason why we're not doing it. But for instance, the wiki has multi-language support. If you're like Innovative Dev, looking at you, would want to do stuff in French. Like we sometimes get so many French emails. It is weird. Apparently the French like our software. It's French, Germans, and English-speaking people. We got some Spanish as well, and we got some other languages as well. But the complaints are from French and German people the most, because the German people, some know that we speak German, and they're like, how can't we provide this in German as well? And the French are the French, and we love them, but they expect it to be in French as well. So but I feel like I hope TCHU get a little bit of a better feeling of who we are. I like to believe that we are fun. I like to believe that we are.
Yeah, we sometimes I think so. We are. At least here in office, we have fun. Wouldn't you say, Rafael?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Innovative Dev just answered, yeah, French is complaining a lot for a lot of reasons. I support them all. If you want to see more of those comments, you can join the Discord. Innovative Dev is very French sometimes there as well. In a good way. No, absolutely. Cool. Do you want to touch on the browser stuff? I'd like to share my idea, which I had.
Maybe you start talking about browser stuff, and I chime in when I think things are getting out of hand.
Oh, TCH just reminded me, Nick is French as well. We should be careful.
Oh, true.
Yeah, he's right. No, as I said, we like the French. It's nothing like. Okay. In regards to the browser stuff. So the question we got was if we could support containers in Firefox, and if each container could be displayed in Portmaster and stuff. And what I told that person was, we were thinking about like browser and browser extensions basically as the same as other like operating systems. We knew that we wanted to be on Android. We knew that we want to be on macOS and stuff like that. And we knew that a browser extension eventually is something that we want to work on.
A browser extension that just is an extension of Portmaster, not kind of Portmaster put into a browser extension. Just
so that we are aware of the different tabs, that we're aware of the different, because Portmaster now just sees the browser as one application and cannot differentiate if the Facebook you want to connect to is some Facebook pixel or if it's facebook.com, like the basic thing where you actually want to connect to. Because that person who was asking wanted to connect to Facebook. And we're like, well, if you want to block Facebook, you need to block it for the whole browser. You can unblock it everywhere else and just allow it for the browser. But then you will need to take care of the in-browser nuances with the browser extension, like uBlock Origin, which you were saying like focuses on different stuff. uBlock Origin is great, and they focus on URL blocking and some in-stream blocking, I think, as well in the browser. And it's a different set of worms, different whatever, everything. And Portmaster is networking stuff. uBlock Origin does zero networking, and we do a lot of networking. And it feels similar to the user because it's ad and tracker blocking, but it is super different from where we sit, where the uBlock Origin people, I don't know how many, or if it's just...
It's just that guy.
If it's just one guy, well, it's different. And so both have their cons and pros. And if you know him, or if he's for some reason knows us, reach out. We'd love to work together. But in regards to browsers, so the browser extension is something that we are thinking of.
But also kind of, we're not gonna start replacing uBlock Origin. That just doesn't make sense.
Because it already works good.
Yeah, it works well. So browser extension for us would mainly mean extend what Portmaster can see into the browser and extend how you can control Portmaster into the browser. Which means you can just exclude or kind of allow a website from within the browser, so don't have to switch back to Portmaster. I'm going to be there to click, allow it, done. Or we can, for example, display proper pages. So if Portmaster blocks something, then the extension can actually display information on why it was blocked and what is going on, for example. So it's a lot kind of about the interaction part and also a bit about the information part, because then we can a little bit better know how things work. For example, one problem we're having with unblocking things in the browser is if something doesn't work on a page, it's often not the domain itself you're on, but it's some resource that's served from a CDN or from somewhere else that's blocked, and then kind of the page is half broken. But for regular users that don't know how to kind of open a developer tools and look at all the data, it's hard for them to figure out what actually is going wrong until they open Portmaster and see, okay, the browser is doing some funny stuff here. It may be from the broken page or not. I'll just try to allow it, and then maybe it works. So there's just too little information surfaced for the user in these cases, and that's where we want to improve that. Will we be ever able to kind of really attribute network connections to tabs or something like that, and kind of, or do like per container rules for browsers? I don't know if that information is available at all.
Yeah, and it's maybe subject to change, of course, as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we had a debate when Chrome announced that they're sort of like deprecating and making it like the Toolkit 2, or what was it again? Like the extension stuff.
Oh, the Manifest version 3.
Yeah, Manifest version, that they are deprecating Manifest version 2. And so stuff like, there was this big uproar that ad blockers won't work, and Brave committed to keeping Manifest 2 and stuff like that. So this sparked a debate, and we thought about it if we should move in and make it easier. and stuff like that. And we would have committed more resources to that if we saw that there is a greater need there. And we might in the future, if the need arises, go in that direction, because it is adjacent to us. Not like, I mean, DNS is adjacent as well, but the need there is not as high.
That's exactly the point. Like, if that really goes through and it looks like it's actually not, Google itself hasn't imported like most of their extension to manufacture version 3. So it's not happening soon. But in case like changes into browsers are really coming, that will force out UBlock Origin and similar good alternatives and leave an empty space, of course, we will move in and we will cover that. Yeah. So because then there's an actually gap
together.
Yeah, and then we'll kind of maybe even with these people together go in and solve that problem. But currently it is solved with high quality with someone else, so there's no need for us to go in there.
Yeah, we don't have to redo the stuff others already did well.
Exactly. Focus, high quality.
Yeah.
Exactly. Maybe something interesting. How can you get more of this today? Maybe of kind of having different rules for different tabs or containers. So what Portmaster can do, it can apply different app settings or profiles, also based on the kind of arguments, or you could say the options of how a program is started. So you can, for Firefox, for example, you can create different profiles, and you can then create new apps in Portmaster that match these profiles. So you could have multiple instances of Firefox running with a different profile, Firefox profile. And then
not containers.
Profiles.
There's a difference.
There's a bit of a difference. And then you can kind of attach different settings to these things. A lot easier is to just have a second browser. So, of course, Firefox is the only non-Chromium based browser for all the Firefox fans out there. So if you
can use Waterfox. Or,
that's true. You can use the other. If you're Linux, there are a couple more options.
You can use Falcon as well. You should not say that there are no other options.
Okay, I'm really sorry. I forgot about all the
forks of Firefox.
Other forks, the non-mainstream forks. But you can also kind of just go and like use the vanilla Chromium if you want. If you just need a Facebook browser, just do a Facebook browser. Do a Google browser if you really need to use Google. Or use a YouTube browser for just YouTube.
That's what I'm having here.
You can install Google Chrome just for accessing YouTube.
Exactly.
And then use Chromium for Facebook or like whatever. Use Brave
because it's blue. Chromium because it's
Brave
blue.
for Twitter.
X.com. Yeah.
So whatever. So and that's really a lot easier because Portmaster will, of course, create these profiles for you, and then you can just have different browsers for different kind of containers, and that's a good workaround right now that you can use. That's easy.
Yeah. So Mike is honorable mentioning Pale Moon modified Firefox still can play old Flash games. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure if that's
secure. I don't know. But in regards to Mamoru is asking if this is a new Portmaster feature. This has been in place for quite some time. Like it is with the custom profiles, it has been possible. But I think there's little documentation on it. And this was, I wanted to chime in and say, I think you need to search on GitHub because I think you answered this on the GitHub somewhere.
That's true. There's little documentation. Dude, it's also not really easy to understand. So we didn't want to kind of push it like a lot.
So you're mentioning it on the live stream.
Live stream, I think, are people who are already invested, are on the Discord mostly, and are kind of read the wiki, read it all. We have people that just, there are a lot of people that don't read. That's annoying sometimes, regularly. So we built the feature because we needed it ourselves internally for the new systems we built for kind of better matching processes like Windows services, Snap, Flatpak, and so on. So that uses the same system, and we just expose that to the UI too, so you can use that there.
Mamura is asking if we have a Discord. The link is right below to the channel where Mike is currently writing us. So if you don't see, Mamura, if you don't see all the questions popping up in the live chat, that's because some people are on the Discord. And the reason why I'm pointing is because both of them are open on the same display. Yeah. No, all is well. And welcome for being a new user. We have a couple new users today.
Yeah.
So cool.
Nice.
Leave us a comment where you found out about Portmaster. That would be super cool for us to understand and hear. And just in a beach bar. Please use the beach bar for that. I know I saw that you sort of told me as well today that I'm discussing features in the beta channel which are not supposed to be in the beta.
I don't know why everyone goes to the beta channel. That's mine.
You consider that yours? Oh, I see. Okay, no, I love the beach bar. That's my channel.
Good.
I'll maybe share some cat pictures in the future again. Who knows?
So if you want to try it out, we probably should be improving documentation there. But the easiest way, so you can access that stuff by either editing a profile. So there's a small edit button on top next to the name if you have an app open, or if you're on the app overview page, there's a plus button.
No,
top right.
No, it's not a plus button, but
okay.
it says create new profile.
Okay, a create new profile button that you can press, and then there you can add all the stuff. And it's not as crazy as with the rules. It's actually a bit more helpful because you have a drop down with the options you have, and I think the help texts are there.
There are help texts, yes.
The back end, I wrote them, so they're somewhere.
Yeah, and they are a little bit confusing. It can do better, I would say. But maybe the apps are something that we will touch in the near-ish future again.
Maybe. We still not know. So we know the next thing we're gonna work on, but the thing after that, not yet. So
and
we're looking for ideas, preferable not huge things, but kind of things that make sense that we can finish in a month or so.
So while you're reading the question from TCH, let me quickly chime in. I know we're almost done with the time.
Question.
The one from TCH?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we will go a little bit over today. I wanted to sort of pitch the idea which I had to our watchers.
Which idea?
The browser idea.
The browser idea?
Yeah.
Which browser idea?
The browser. Okay.
We have many browser ideas.
I know. But while that person was asking me in regards to browser extensions, a couple of days ago, because as I said, I switched distros and I had this, I typically do support emails in a virtual machine. So, because I'm getting shady links all the time, and so that my system is isolated. I'm doing all of that in a virtual machine, and I'm like, oh, can't I have a Docker container with a browser inside, where everything is in Docker and it kills everything when I close it, and properly kills everything, has no access to hardware or anything. And I was like, Daniel, can we do that for Portmaster and offer it as a service to people? What the letterboxing is with Tor browser and stuff like that, that's basically trying to force some stuff. But if you have a virtual machine with the browser and just it's the same for everyone using Portmaster, and then it would probably have a fixed ratio as well and stuff like that, but it's the same for everyone. So all Portmaster users who would use that browser would have the very same browser, because it's a Docker container and running the same everywhere. That's just my idea. And I was like, that would be great. And
Yeah.
And TCH says that exists.
It
Please, send us a link. I did a small search for it. Oh, see, this is the reason why I love live chats. Send us a link, please. Do so on the Discord or something. You can, of course, do it here in the live chat as well. But I will find it on the Discord easier than on YouTube. So please, TCH, send me a link. I'd love to use that. I'd love to.
Yeah, it definitely exists in like many forms. So one form, of course, is the cloud. Cloudflare has that. And there are like some things that use Docker for that, but they don't really seem very usable.
And maybe we can make it more usable. But TCH, please let me know. And if it's open source, that would be great. And I would love to look into it. And maybe we can reach out to them, work with them, make it more usable, and sort of like, who knows?
You mean create a bundle?
And create a bundle, who knows? Who knows? No, but very lovely. So this is the reason why I love live streams.
Maybe just put in context. This is just a crazy idea. I'll let you give the context. It doesn't like come over weird. What do you think are the chances of this happening?
Oh yeah, very slim.
Okay.
Super slim.
Just that everyone knows what kind of idea that is.
No, absolutely. No. This is not on the roadmap when we're looking context for stuff. But I see, this is just what I love to do, just like thinking about how to. Hey, greetings, Mamor, now over on the Discord. Good to see you there. You're in good company. We're almost 1,000 people on the Discord now. So I don't know if we will celebrate this milestone. I don't know.
A Discord party?
A Discord party. Maybe we're doing one of the live streams on Discord then. Who knows? We'll see. But you wanted to answer TCH's question.
Oh, yeah.
In regards to pull requests.
I may sound impatient, but when can we expect you to merge users reply PRs?
That was the question from TCH.
Yeah, that was the question. We're not, at the moment, we're not that good with that.
Sam can attest to that.
Yeah, so we have a couple of
Sorry, Sam.
really lying around for some time now.
Matt's?
What?
Matt's requests, I think, have been merged fairly quickly.
Yeah, well, they're still in review, I think. So I don't know if the last month were really tight, and right now, kind of with the release of 1.4 and also 1.5, which is coming up soon, we're kind of completing a more stressful phase that we really wanted to push, and now we're gonna have a bit more of time to look into like the really weird bugs, also look at pull request. So how we want to handle pull requests is, if it's not a bug fix, let's first talk about it. Let's create a specification. Let's see how we want to do it, and then when the implementation is finished, we're gonna do the technical review over on GitHub. So I would expect a couple of weeks just to go through that process. Of course, depending on size of the pull request and stuff like that. So but first step, if it's not a simple small bug fix, please ping us. We'll add you to the contributors on Discord, and then you can start a topic for your idea on the contributor forum on Discord. And then we can talk things through and exchange ideas, specify what we specifically together, what's the best way to implement it, because the options we have are quite big, and the whole thing has gotten quite complex already. So we can point you in all the right directions for your work, and then we can achieve higher quality faster together.
You're saying Portmaster is complicated in the back end as well?
I'm not sure if you were like trying to be funny or.
I'm trying to be funny because one of the main complaints has always been that Portmaster is complicated. And I agree. I'm not saying that it isn't. I'm just saying I feel like we got better now.
Yeah,
love the overview.
The basic system is actually not that difficult. It's just that there are loads of edge cases we have to cover. Mm-hmm. And also integration with the US is also a bit complicated. But the basic idea isn't that the basic structure of the code and how data flows isn't that difficult. It's kind of the details that make it hard. Yeah.
Great. Okay. We're already over, I think, a bit.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us.
Thanks.
We will, for all the new people, we will be here in 2 weeks. We have live streams every other week. That I sort of started to announce the next live stream Friday the week after, so that people are not confused about, oh, is it already? But so that it's online for almost a week. So not on the Thursday when it's not happening, but the Friday right after the Thursday. I also started to leave the Discord thing open. I used to close them, but you can continue the conversation in the thread specific to this video. The link is on top. There's a channel for it. So every video has not just read, but also write possibilities in there as well. You can ask questions for next time as well. You can also leave them in the comments below if you want, or write in an email. I'm getting a lot of emails. Love them. They're a little bit more private. And as you saw, like today, I'm not telling anybody, if you don't want to, I'm not sharing your handles or usernames or whatever. So just share them via mail. It's a little bit more, it's more and less private at the same time, as you all watching.
Weird world.
Yeah. No, but nobody else in the community will see it, so it's private, more private in that regard. Do you want to add something?
Nothing particular. If you like what we're doing, then you can support us by subscribing to either Portmaster Plus or Pro, depending on what you need or want.
Absolutely. That's it. Okay, well then, thank you all for being here. See you again in 2 weeks. Write you on Discord later, and have a good one.